Does your business need to register with FinCEN? We've heard so much about this Corporate Transparency Act, but is your business a business that's subject to all of this new stuff that has to happen? Probably, because there's very few exceptions. If you own a business where you had to register with the Secretary of State, typically if you are a corporation, if you are an LLC and you had to register with the Secretary of State, your business is going to be subject to this new Corporate Transparency Act. If you are a sole proprietorship or a partnership that didn't have to register, you're not subject to it because you're operating those businesses as yourself. But if you are an LLC, if you own rental property under your LLC, if you have an S corporation, if you are a corporation, chances are you need to make sure you register according to the Corporate Transparency Act. And remember, FinCEN, the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, is where you have to actually file. What is a beneficial owner? They come up with all of this language, all of these terms. What does that mean? The beneficial owner is really the person, the beneficial that benefits from the ownership. So if I am a single member LLC registered with the Secretary of State, I am the beneficial owner. If I have other members of my LLC and they own more than 25%, they're beneficial owners. If you are a shareholder of a corporation, you are a beneficial owner, the person who is going to benefit from the ownership of the business. Now, an LLC cannot be a beneficial owner of an entity. So some of you guys have LLCs set up owning other LLCs. At the end of the day, you are the beneficial owner of your business. And if you do not properly register, you're going to find out how much you own that business when they start assessing you $500 a day. So many of you business owners have heard about the Corporate Transparency Act, but when you go on and register, what information do you actually have to provide them? Well, you have to provide a lot of information. You have to give them your name, your physical address, your social security number. You have to provide an identifying document, such as your passport or your driver's license number. It is a lot of information that you have to provide them, and they are not playing around with it because they want an actual copy of your identification to be uploaded. In addition to that, you have to make sure that the applicant who registered you for the corporation provides the same type of information. This is really starting to become very deep because our personal financial information has to be given to FinCEN according to the Corporate Transparency Act. And to emphasize, I want to make sure you're clear. If someone formed your corporation for you, they are the company applicant. They also have to provide that information. So whether you go through a third party like a LegalZoom or anybody else, that portion is still up in the air as to how much information they have to provide. And as it is as of today, they have to provide all of their identifying information as well. When do you need to file for the Corporate Transparency Act to make sure that you are in compliance? If you start a new business in 2024, you have 90 days to file. If you are an existing business, meaning you are already formed 2023, 22 and back, you have to file by December 31st, 2024. But any new businesses, you have 90 days to make it happen. If you do not follow the Corporate Transparency Act and you don't file your beneficial owner report, you don't file your applicant information report, what happens? They will, not they might, they will assess you $500 a day. The reason why I say they will, because FinCEN has another type of reporting that they do where they assess people $500 a day, and there's no wiggle room on that because they do mean business. Therefore, you want to make sure that you file on time. If you receive notification that you were supposed to file and you didn't, in addition to paying $500 a day in penalties, you can now be charged with federal charges because FinCEN is a federal agency and they do mean business when it comes to making sure they have a database of people that own these various corporations. Business owners, do not be caught without doing the right thing. Regardless of how you feel about the Corporate Transparency Act, regardless of whether you feel like you want them to have your social security number, a copy of your passport, it is the law, and it's not worth not complying with the law. $500 a day in criminal charges can land you in jail. You don't want to be the poster child of what not to do if you own a business. You also don't want to be the poster child of what not to do if you don't like, comment, or subscribe. So make sure you do so that you don't miss out on any wealth building information.